Welcome to Ask the Lynnwood Cop. I'm Teresa Whipple and Sergeant Cole Langdon. Today we are going to talk about bicyclists and the rules.
All right.
When somebody is on a bicycle on the road with cars, are they supposed to be following all the traffic laws that cars and drivers follow?
Absolutely. The revised Code of Washington actually reads that if you are a bicycle and you decide to ride on the road and act as a vehicle, you're subject to all the laws and also you're given all the rights and privileges afforded to a vehicle, but you're also subject to all the laws that a motor vehicle would have. So you're required to yield to traffic. If you're coming up, if you're trying to make a left turn, you must yield to oncoming traffic, which is also going to be in your best interest if you're on a bicycle. You must have a headlight on your vehicle if you're riding during hours of darkness, and you must have a reflector on the back of it. And another good note for Lynnwood is that you're required within Lynnwood to have a helmet while riding on our streets.
Oh, that's actually law.
So, yes, It is actual law within the city limits of Lynnwood. It's a local ordinance that we have.
Okay.
In unincorporated Snohomish County, you're not required to. I do not know of any helmet requirement within unincorporated Snohomish County. But while riding within Lynnwood, you must have a helmet on.
Okay.
And it's something we're very concerned about, and we want to model good behavior and safe practices for our children as they're coming up and riding bicycles. Another issue, if you decide that you want to ride on the sidewalk and act as a pedestrian, you are now given all the privileges and rights of a pedestrian, but you're also subject to all the rules of a pedestrian. So you can't just emerge from the sidewalk and cross the road without warning. You must yield to traffic. You must make sure traffic is required to yield to you in terms of motor vehicles. But if you were to just suddenly leave the sidewalk without warning and dart across the other side of the street, there's a potential you could receive an infraction for jaywalking. And it's a safety issue as well. So we want to make sure that you're aware of that if you are riding in commercial districts within the city of Lynnwood, you are actually not allowed to ride on the sidewalks. And that's a safety issue because we start having a mixing of pedestrians and people riding bicycles, and the dynamic of a bicycle riding at relatively high speed as opposed to pedestrians. We want to avoid any potential for collisions or injuries. So if you're in a commercial district, we'd prefer that you ride, or you're actually required by law to ride on the road and now act as a vehicle.
Okay, and I have an example for you as somebody who is a bicycle rider. So if you come to a four-way stop, bicyclists, I think, tend to think, they have this momentum going, and they might slow down, but they may not stop, or they may, tend to maybe
Great example.
But you are required, right, to
You're
stop?
required.
Just
You're
like
required to come to a complete stop, and that means a complete stop. So if you happen to be clipped in and you're really good with your balance and you can hold that for 1 to 2 seconds and then continue on,
you're good.
You're good to go. But you cannot ride past that stop bar.
Slowing down does not count.
It does not count.
Okay, very good.
Slowing down does not count. You actually need to stop at that stop bar and at that intersection.
Okay, good to know. All right. Well, thanks for joining us, and we'll be back again soon with another episode of Ask the Lynnwood Cop.